Happy election night from California. Things are looking slightly more hopeful than they did yesterday. You're listening to The World According to Jen and Carolyn. Happy Sunday or some such bullshit.
Is it Sunday?
It's Sunday,
Is it the
bro.
5th?
It's the 5th. It's the 5th of the month.
Wake up.
That's
wake
not
up,
how that
wake
song
up.
goes.
No.
You know, I saw Bone Thugs and Harmony
You did.
on the 1st of the month last year.
You have to.
It was a great concert. I grew up with them. They're amazing, obviously, as you know. And it was great because everybody else there was like mine and Bill's age.
Yeah,
so like
of course.
in their 40s and their 50s. And I just remember the people next to us because, of course, like Bone Thugs brought like all these people out, like friends, cousins, homies to like perform before they did.
Oh.
And they were all incredible.
Oh, I'm sure.
But we're starting late. And like the couple
You're
next,
like, are they going to come out at
right,
any
we're
time
like,
now?
when is this happening? And the couple next to us was like, well, we have the babysitter until 11. I was like, very relatable.
We got in trouble in, I think it was freshman religion class because we played that for devotion. And our religion teacher was like, I don't think this is, we're like, listen to what they're saying. Like,
Dude,
right?
they rap about like scripture and shit. Like,
She was very, I don't know whatever happened to you, Miss Maxwell, but she also thought our friend Julia, who you know, had depression. So she was a little off.
sounds like it.
Julia's like the happiest person ever.
I know.
Definitively say she does not have clinical depression.
Also, yeah, and also if you're not a clinician, maybe you shouldn't be diagnosing children.
Yeah,
like, not
well,
your.
she used to be a nun, so
Yeah, I'm still not getting the connection. Stay in your lane.
anyway, Bone Thugs are cool.
You're
so.
married to Jesus. It's a beautiful thing. All
Yeah.
right. So,
Anyway,
we're not here to talk about Jesus tonight. We're here too. This is a Carolyn-centric episode. Carolyn put together an episode on digital radicalization from memes to murder, which I think obviously is very pertinent. So we're going to dive into something that's going to make you rethink everything you thought you knew about political violence in America. So Carolyn did a great job connecting 3 stories that on the surface don't seem to be connected, right? There's a Netflix series about a 13-year-old murderer, which is called Adolescence, which is insane. If you haven't seen it. The assassination of a conservative activist. Obviously, we know who this is, Charlie Kirk, and a teenager who used ChatGPT to plan his own suicide. But here's the thing. They're not unrelated at all. And they're symptoms of the same digital disease that's rewiring, not just young minds, but everybody's minds, or a lot of folks' minds in a way that our political systems and our therapeutic systems, like all of our systems have not yet wrapped their minds around this.
Yeah.
So, you know, we're about to show you how a cartoon frog, an AI chatbot, and a Netflix drama reveal the real political crisis of our time. So got to warn you, we're going to be talking about suicide and violence and just really dark things. And as always, we're going to come at you with some resources in case you or somebody you care about needs them. All right. So let's jump in. So Carolyn, on the show, we're fond of saying the internet giveth and the internet taketh away. So we know the internet makes our lives easier, but that's because we have a pretty discerning eye and know how to do research and can separate fact from fiction. But, you know, the internet is crawling with misinformation, and information has the potential to be deadly, as we're going to talk about in this episode. So you wrote this episode. Tell us in like 90 seconds or less what compelled you to do so.
I just find all of this around young people so fascinating. And it's the number one question that I get asked therapeutically and about phones and video games and AI and just all this stuff. And, you know, meanwhile, while all of this political stuff is going on, kids are watching.
Right.
And the 6th graders to like 8th graders.
Shit, my 8-year-old is aware because we're a house where we have conversations about politics.
Well, and there's just a lot going on that I feel like we're focusing on adults, we're focusing on politics, but we're really not talking about kids.
Yeah.
And the stories, well, we should be, because what's happening is ending their lives. Yeah. Literally in real time.
Right.
I just thought it was interesting how when Charlie Kirk got assassinated, I guess if we call it an assassination.
Yeah.
All right. You know, it went from like, oh shit, this just happened. Like, where is this going to go? Mm-hmm. And then it went somewhere really weird that even you and I think we're on top of stuff. And
it went to the blame game.
Yeah.
Like automatically, like it's really the right. And even those of us on the left going, it's a right-wing situation. It's a left-wing situation. It's and like I think with this, we're like, what is happening? Yeah. Some things are really going to, like the dichotomy of left versus right is not it's not the appropriate lens by which to analyze, digest, and prevent what's currently happening. I think prevention is the key here.
And this is all preventable.
Yes, I agree.
Which sucks though, because I feel like so much of this is then put on the parent.
Right.
When really it's, as a parent, you can only do so much.
Right.
And this should be as big of a public health crisis than as we look at cigarettes.
Right.
Or vaping.
Right. Yeah, there's things that we have to start looking at as public health crises. Racism is one, and this is one.
And how weird that Zuckerberg is at the table with Trump.
The people that should be trying to rein this in are aligned with the wrong motherfuckers, or a lot of them are. Not across the board, right? No. There's a lot of people involved in big tech who aren't garbage people.
Always.
But then the big time names, they're eating out of the dumpster, and the rest of us are eating out of the dumpster with them.
So that's what compelled me.
That's good. That's interesting.
Also because I had no idea what the hell a griper was.
Is that how you say it? Griper?
Griper?
Is it grouper? Griper? I have no idea.
I hear different things.
Wait, we're going to have to look this up while
forgot to process this. There's a couple TikTokers and people who actually really know their shit, and they're putting out good information. Okay. I will make sure I do a post on that.
Yeah, clearly
I say griper.
We don't know how to pronounce anything on the show, but it does. It does, but it's not, God damn it. We're not taking that on.
No.
So let's start where you started, which is the focus, to begin with, is on this Netflix show called Adolescence, which really fucked me up. First of all, I am a massive fan of British crime shit. Like, I love The Fall. I love Luther. Like, I think they do it incredibly well. This was absolutely shocking in like a physiological way. And, it's British. This a 4-part British series. I always feel like they do too few episodes. I'm like, I want more. The Brits don't give you enough.
The show want more.
I do. I always want more, even if it's fucked up. So the show follows a 13-year-old named Jamie Miller who gets arrested for stabbing his female classmate Katie to death. But what makes this different from your typical crime drama is that it's filmed entirely in a single continuous shot, which is, this is about this. My stomach's making noise. And
I thought that was me. Mine is too.
It's mine. And
it's the curry.
This friggin', mine's chili. We're disgusting. And we shouldn't be talking about this when we're talking about teenage murder, but the mics are going to pick it up. Anyway, so it's just the cinematic credit. Like the single continuous shot is incredible. No cuts, no edits. It's just raw. And it's in your face, and it references characters like Andrew Tate and the red pill community and the influence that these sorts of influencers and talking heads have on young boys in particular. Yeah. And so it wasn't, this show wasn't based on a specific case, but rather the creators, Jack Thorne and Stephen Graham, they told The Independent they were inspired by a pattern they kept seeing in the news. This is fucked up that this is a pattern.
I know.
Young boys stabbing young girls. Graham said, I read an article about a young boy stabbing a young girl. And then maybe a couple of months later on the news, there was another young boy who'd stabbed another girl. So this show is not only so groundbreaking, but unfortunately so true to life that the UK Prime Minister is calling for this show to be shown in schools as an educational tool to counter misogyny and violence. So while politicians were debating, like we said, traditional left-right issues, there's a lot of shit going on the dark web that transcends all of this. Yeah. It's a different level. It's a different lens entirely. And it is particularly negatively influential on young boys and young men.
Yes.
And it's, and Jack Thorne, the co-creator of Adolescence, said, like, hey, when I was a teenage boy, like, this stuff would have appealed to me.
I know.
You know, the attraction of insult culture after being directed to it by a colleague. Like, these are all things that key, you know, into a young person's psyche and could compel them to do stupid shit because, I don't know, their frontal lobes, the thinking part of their brain is not complete for a very long time.
And from the bottom up, their emotional centers, their fight or flight is incredibly impulsive.
Right. And I don't think they grasp. I mean, I think they understand what life and death are, but at the same time, like, you're immersed in a culture, like our entertainment is violent. We're sitting here talking about entertainment that we find compelling.
Right.
And it's predicated on violence.
Yeah.
Violence is everywhere.
Yes.
Everywhere.
Yeah.
I honestly, I'm not convinced that a kid of 13 doesn't know that if he stabs a girl, that she's not going to potentially die and be gone forever.
You want to believe that.
Yeah.
But yeah,
it's heavy. And maybe I'm underestimating the comprehension of teens, but also taking into consideration their psychological development and you know, intellectual development or lack thereof at that age. Like,
well, socially, all you want to do is belong.
Yeah.
I do remember that feeling of wanting to be cool.
Yeah.
And wanting to fit in.
Yeah.
It is absolutely frightening. Absolutely.
Oof.
Yeah.
So, Carolyn, tell us, I didn't know about the origin of meme culture. So tell me about this before we talk about our buddy Charlie Kirk.
I know you and I, when it comes to memes, we're sending each other like funny,
harmless shit.
Harmless stuff. Like, you know, the girl who gets hit in the face with hot dogs or like
a seagull choking on a hot dog.
Like, just things that are stupid. Like, I don't know. I like, so if you would have asked me 10 years ago, I still don't even understand. I think it's funny. Like, if you ask my mom, like, she doesn't communicate through memes. This is a newer thing. Yeah. Here's what Britannica said. So the history of memes dates back to 1976.
That's crazy.
When the term was coined by British evolutionary biologist Richard Dawkins.
I love Richard Dawkins.
I'd never heard of him. Who is he?
Richard Dawkins writes about evolution.
Oh, cool.
He's amazing.
It's like Darwin.
I saw him speak.
Dawkins.
Yeah, I saw him speak in Berkeley when I was in my 20s.
Oh, no way.
He's amazing.
So have you read The Selfish Gene?
I have not read The Selfish Gene. I read whatever the one was about evolution.
Okay.
I read that.
Cool. Well, he described, I'm going to have to read this. He described a meme as a unit of cultural transmission or imitation, which is like super exactly what it is, right? The early internet memes emerged in the late 1990s, early 2000s with examples like Kilroy was here.
Oh, yeah.
I don't remember that.
Well, Kilroy was from World War II, I believe.
Oh.
Or following World War II. Okay. It was like a dude peering over a wall with a big nose. Yeah.
Is that a Jewish thing?
I hope not. For the love of God. I can't. Not after the Ed Gein shit we've been watching.
Don't get me started on Ed Gein.
I can't. Like, I can't. I don't know how you got through that. Well, like, you're way Jewier than I am, and I'm like having trouble with it. You know why?
Because it's what's his face? He found it. You know the Ed Gein story. It's a lot of it is dramatized,
but I didn't know how much Nazi like war criminals influenced him.
Of that in there, and it's really frightening.
Yeah, and how much imagery there would be from
there's
that.
a lot of that. It's really hard to watch. But then you get to look at Charlie Hunnam's ass. So.
I know, but he's also
he's having sex with a corpse.
Yes, or wearing his mother's underwear and jerking off. Like, it's a lot.
It's a lot. Anyway,
that's a whole thing on that.
But I do remember the dancing baby from Ally McBeal. I feel like that was a thing.
Yeah,
so it was. So memes have evolved significantly with the rise of social media, leading to the rapid spread of formats like image, macrons, GIFs, and viral videos. And today, memes are a form of communication and cultural commentary and humor.
Yes.
Should all be in good fun.
Yes, it really should. Yes. But they've taken a dark turn, and we're going to talk more about that. So for the time being, let's talk about Charlie Kirk. So we all know that just recently, just last month, less than a month ago, Charlie Kirk was assassinated while giving a speech at Utah University. Mm-hmm. Shot and killed by a 22-year-old kid named Tyler Robinson. Kirk was the founder of something called Turning Point USA, a conservative youth organization, incredibly hateful.
I think it's funny. Its initials are TP. trashy toilet paper house.
You would take it there.
Or organization.
What happened to Charlie should not have happened. I don't believe in political violence. At the same time, I think we can all coalesce around the fact that he spewed hate speech. Mm-hmm. And anyway. So, but what's crucial here is the assassination of Kirk isn't fitting, again, the traditional left-right political violence paradigm that we're accustomed to. And in fact, when you think about it, I think Sirhan, who killed Robert F. Kennedy, I don't know what his political leanings were, but I don't think we're analyzing that through a left-right dichotomy. No. When we look at, who knows if Lee Harvey Oswald, whom apparently was a communist, etc. I don't think he acted alone. I'm not even sure if he did it.
Right.
But again, it was a different kind of left-right paradigm. There was a bit of extremism there, but this is different. Yeah. This is really different. And so, there's been this increase in political violence committed by people who have been influenced by a mix of different extremist ideologies, all which are accessible and alive and well on the internet. Yeah. So, the bullet casings, if you remember.
That was weird.
Interesting stuff, right?
Luigi Mangione started that?
But his made more sense.
They did.
If he's the one that did it, allegedly. But, those were all insurance-based terms.
Yeah.
This is if you read this, you're gay, LOL, on the bullet casings, which is some sort of meme from, and we're going to talk about the Nick Fuentes and all that shit. Yeah. But, catch fascist or whatever. And then
people knew what that meant before the FBI knew what that meant.
Of course, because the FBI is behind. They need to really beef up their
Kash Patel.
Well, he's fucking useless.
Go have your Viking funeral.
He's the moron face of that entity. But the FBI should be further ahead.
Well, right. When you have internet people making TikToks about this, being like, let me explain to you what that means. That's a little frightening to me as someone who, I don't want to know what that means. You should, aren't we paid?
Right. I want to know what it means so we can prevent it. Right. But I also want the people who are responsible for, the safety of our nation.
Yeah, they should probably be on this.
It's every time you watch a Senate hearing or a congressional hearing where they're grilling a tech bro. It's all these old people who don't know what the fuck they're talking about.
I know.
And these tech bros, I don't like many of them, but I understand their inclination to be condescending. You don't know what the fuck you're talking about. Come on, man.
They don't.
It's crazy. Keep up.
Yeah.
We all have to keep up, especially us parents and those who have a vested interest are paid to protect the country. So, these bullet casings, they reference online taunts, anti-fascist messages. This is exactly what we mean about our framework being obsolete. We're dealing with violence that emerges from online subcultures that don't map into this traditional political dichotomy. They just don't. So, Carolyn, I don't know what the fuck a groper or a grouper is.
It says grouper.
Groper. I don't know. Tell me what you found out. I had no idea.
Oh, sorry. Even the internet's it's a heavy-bodied fish. No, he thinks I misspelled it.
That's hilarious.
This is why we're old. Anyway. All right. So I first heard about all this when I was working in an adolescent rehab in Santa Fe, which should have maybe told me stuff. Yeah. But this was around 2018, 2019. And a lot of the teens were talking about Pepe the Frog memes.
Okay. I remember that.
And I was like, what the hell is this? And then I kind of just I hear them talking about oh, this is like stupid kid shit. I'm not for this. Whatever, let them have their fun. And I just brushed it off. In the same way, I think, you and I imitating Jim Carrey or Pee Wee Herman. Right. Well, me doing that, you would have hated that.
Jim Carrey, yes. Pee Wee Herman.
Those two people never tried to indoctrinate me politically.
No.
And that's the
difference. Weren't full of hate.
No. Well, once Jim Carrey got rid of Jenny McCarthy, he's on our side, right?
Yes.
But yeah, so it's...
I think.
I know, right?
Well, he hates Trump. I don't know if he's still an anti-vaxxer. Anyway.
But yeah, these are things where we're not paying attention to what the children know.
We can't write these things off as being ridiculous or I'm older. I don't care. This is irrelevant.
Show me what that is. Tell me what you know about that.
If you're a parent, you need to dig deep.
Yeah.
You really do.
Yeah. So gripers are part of the Groper Army. Again, if we're saying that wrong, I'm so sorry. It's a group of white nationalists.
I also don't care if I'm saying it wrong.
I don't either, because fuck it.
Yeah,
it
you're a group of white nationalists. You're a bunch of fucking idiots.
Seriously.
Yeah.
But they follow Nick Fuentes, and they are loosely defined as followers, fans, associates, and they're named after the variant of Pepe the Frog, who was the internet meme. So thanks Wikipedia for that.
Ugh. It's, these Nick Fuentes types, Charlie Kirk types, like
the influencers.
They're pro-white, but they like walk the line. They're not like Kanye being like, I'm not saying it was the Jews, but it was the Jews. Yeah. I mean, they kind of are, but they're doing it only slightly more insidiously.
Yes.
But it's still white nationalism. It's still like really backward racist thinking. And it's hitting our kids. Mm-hmm. So, we have a conservative activist who was both attacked by the far right for being too moderate and apparently assassinated by someone influenced by anti-fascist messaging. And the traditional left-right framework, again, can't compete with this.
He wasn't pro-white enough.
Right.
Like, that's what freaked me out when I learned there was a group that thinks that Charlie Kirk is too mainstream.
Right. And that's who the guy, Tyler, whatever the fuck his name is, who shot Charlie Kirk, was influenced by this Nick Fuentes guy who was up Charlie Kirk's ass about not being extreme enough.
Yeah.
Donald Trump, not extreme enough. I'm like, holy shit. So you guys want Hitler, right? That's what you want? You want fucking Adolf Hitler?
They're almost like they're nihilists.
It's not, I don't know if it's nihilism. It's just straight up white supremacy.
Right.
And Fuentes, I'm sorry, does not sound like a white name. I'm just going to go
not. I looked him up.
This is what I can't with these self-loathing, like people of color.
He's a combination kid.
Okay. All right. But he is at least like part person of color.
I have to find that article.
Okay. I'm curious because I'm always tripped out by like some January 6ers where you're like, you're a fucking brown dude. What are you doing?
Oh, I don't know.
And like, all the people who voted for Trump, hate? I think it is.
Internalized racism, internalized.
You talked about it, that need to belong. And I think that when you have self-loathers.
Italian, Irish, Mexican descent.
Yeah. Bro, you're Mexican.
Yeah. Yeah. And Irish and Italian, you were like the most hated back in the day.
Yeah. We had our turn.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Carolyn, I think at this point, we need to talk about the psychology of digital radicalization. Tell us more about this. Let's talk about it.
I'd love to. So what you've described isn't actually new in psychological term. It's a recruitment pattern we've seen in, guess what? Cults, terrorist organizations, extremist movements for decades. But the internet is what has gone from pamphlets to you can reach... Right? Giveth and taketh away. You can reach such a wide audience in this sense.
It's not grassroots anymore.
No. It's a control alt delete.
It's not Charlie Manson recruiting people on the streets in a paid Ashbury.
Where do I even find the dark web? Like, what button on my computer? Where do I Google? Take me to the dark web?
Dude, I will get into it in a minute, but I watched a whole ass thing on the dark web and how to find people who will assassinate people on your behalf.
God,
it's fucking nuts.
I clearly a world I am not a part of.
Yeah.
So anyway, so it's made it irresistible. And again, we're talking about children are the most vulnerable. Mm-hmm. Always, always, always. I'm sorry. But let me break down what's happening psychologically here in these cases. So we're talking about let's look at this through Jamie from adolescence. So Nick Fuentes is a recruitment pipeline, or even as we'll see this in AI manipulation in suicide cases, the pattern's always the same. So I'm going to take you through 5 steps here. So the identification of vulnerability. So online algorithms are incredibly good at, as we know, you and I talk about boots. 5 seconds later, there's some boots up on my phone.
Totally.
So they're really good at identifying psychological needs and states. And a 13-year-old struggling with social rejection, young angry men about their dating life or about their body image. A teenager dealing with depression. These vulnerabilities create specific behavior patterns that the algorithm can detect and target. That is why the internet, if you can wait till 14 to have your child have open access to the internet, please do. Not to mention what it is doing chemically to the addiction centers of our brain.
I get it.
It is designed that way on purpose, and it is designed to make money. And my favorite person, Lisa DeMore, will say, talk to kids and tell them you're being played. Yeah. That is why, at least by 14, you're a little more skeptical. Right. But you're being played.
My kid's already asking me if he can make YouTube videos because he sees what we do. Oh, and he's into, you don't want that. But also like kids YouTube. Yeah. And I'm like, absolutely not. Yeah. Like we're adults. And also the kids that you're seeing on YouTube, like, I'm sorry, but like, I'm going to judge, like, no, parents, like stop trying to generate income off your kids.
It feels weird.
That's all it is. It's exploitative.
It is exploitative.
I don't like it. I'm going to go on record and say I don't fucking like it.
Especially when we know what can be done with a deep fake. Yeah. I don't want my kid's face out there or my nephew's face out there.
Too. Yes. No, thank you.
That's what the internet is for too, for many people. So anyway, so we've got vulnerability. Then we've got validation. So it's a system that provides what feels like understanding and belonging. Chat rooms, right? We grew up with those. Yeah. So I know.
Got really lucky that the people I met from chat rooms weren't murderers.
Right. Luckily. They probably were. We just never met with them.
My God.
So when we look at Jamie's story, you know, again, validation for your anger, your rejection. You don't know who these people are. You're assuming that they're your age. Why would you think otherwise? So Grapers recruit, they get jokes and community around their political frustration. It doesn't start with extremism, just like a cult. It doesn't start that way. You're welcomed in, but it starts with feeling validated. So next we have the gradual escalation. This is where psychological, and I'm going to say physiological manipulation gets very sophisticated. Something called a graduated exposure. Users are slowly introduced to more and more extreme content. And each step feels logical given the previous step, right? We've, again, seen that in cults. So isolation from reality testing. Online community becomes the primary source of reality testing. Friends, family, teachers, mental health professionals, we're outsiders. We don't understand. And this algorithm is good at what it does. I know I say thank you to AI when it helps with something. And it's like, thanks, have a great day. I'm not like, oh my God, thank you. I will have a nice day.
We are friends.
I know that's not true.
Oh my gosh.
But if you're a kid who's isolated and doesn't have any friends, do you know how good that's going to feel? And it knows that. And it's going to say what it's working off dopamine. It's going to say what you want it to say.
I'll tell you more when we get to our final case about what Bill and I just watched on 60 Minutes Australia.
Oh, no.
It's fucking heartbreaking. Okay. But these AI chatbots, like...
I know. So then action preparation. By this point, the person has been psychologically and physiologically prepared. Actions would seem unthinkable at the beginning, whether it's the violence against others or self-harm becomes irrelevant. The psychological process is identical. And again, you're thinking these are kids too, spending hours and hours and hours on these things. Parents go to bed, they're texts in their room, which it should not be. And, you know, again, so this is why traditional political categories can't address this. It's not really about ideology. It's what we're seeing is weaponized psychology. And Netflix, and you saw this, I think, too, with Hitler Youth. Like, this is exactly what you saw just in media with internet, with computers. Look like this, be like this, belong, be part of something.
But then you had parents of these kids like promoting that too.
Absolutely.
Whereas with this, I think most parents were like, what is happening? Like we can't keep up.
No.
And we don't want our children involved in these spheres and being influenced by these. Well, they're not even people sometimes.
But you're tired. You got to go to bed. So, which is why I think have a pass. You can, and a lot of these devices, so you can set things that go off and the kids are smart. They know shit.
They are.
So, you know, again, it's relief, it's feeling of being powerless, being rejected. And the same thing applies to Fuentes' operation. So when someone feels politically powerless or culturally displaced, like white men, the Graper memes and community provide a sense of agency, belonging. White nationalist ideology is almost secondary to the psychological function. Okay. So it all goes back to wanting to belong, wanting to feel sexually powerful, which a young adolescent boy is so susceptible to that, actually more so than girls.
Yeah.
Which is, used to be, we were more worried about girls and their image. Now it's higher for boys.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Oh God, I hate being the parent of a.
He's going to be just fine. He's got you. He's got me. He's got a lot of progressive aunties.
I know. It's true. It's true. And we're very, it's constant work. It's hypervigilance all the time. Like being aware of.
But you guys watch what he's watching.
Yeah. And he's only allowed to be on kids' YouTube, not adult YouTube. But still, like you said, there will come a time when he has a computer, go to a friend's or has a computer in his room because he needs to get his homework done. And he's 16 years old and, stays up late and does his work. And it's like, I don't know.
I know.
It's just so hard. Anyway, we talked already about Nick Fuentes and who this piece of shit is, but let's talk about how it works in terms of the strategy from meme culture to recruitment to real events to political normalization. So this asshole Fuentes uses live streams, gaming culture, and ironic humor to attract younger mainstream conservatives who are then gradually exposed to extremist ideology. Like you said, you get more and more extreme and you do it gradually so it feels normal. Right, exactly. And you make anything into a game. There you go. And especially for a kid. And so, Fuentes largely avoids, again, blatant white supremacy language, and he focuses on anti-establishment thinking. And this is what lets him operate in mainstream spaces while gradually pulling people toward more extreme positions. So kids, I think, are smart enough for the most part to know you use really extreme racist language, they're like, ooh, that's not appealing. Yeah. But if you talk to them in a language that they understand and manipulate them slowly, gradually, and talk to them about how everything's unfair and, they're surrounded by an authoritarian culture.
Teenage language. They want to rebel. Yep. That is the rite of passage of a teenager. Yep. You rebel and you look for anti-establishment. You and I were all about that. Yeah. As teenagers.
Yep. So,
not in this way.
No, not at all. So we already talked about
thrifting.
We did. Yes.
We were anti-establishment. Fuck you, brass plum.
We went thrifting and we went to war protests when we were 18, 19 years old.
And I listened to Fish, God damn it.
I wore a sweater with Charlie Manson's face on it, for which now, of course, I look back and I'm like, he's a piece of shit. I get it now. But as a 14-year-old, I was like, look how counterculture I am in my Charles Manson sweatshirt.
It super is. It's super
Sisterhood of the Traveling Charles Manson sweatshirt. We all took turns with me and my girlfriends. And it was great because it was like an extra large. So it fit
everyone.
All of us. Yeah.
Should have made a movie about
Oh my God. Nobody needs a movie about that. So, we talked about how, Fuentes and the groupers or whatever, like Charlie Kirk, Donald Trump weren't extreme enough for them. Fuentes created a systemic method for infiltrating mainstream conservative spaces, pulling them toward extremism. By 2022, he was dining with Donald Trump at Mar-a-Lago alongside Kanye West.
I know, right? When you mentioned Kanye, I was like, they're BFFs.
Oh my God. Republican representatives like Marjorie Taylor Greene and Paul Gosar, I also want to say Mark Paul Gosselaar, Saved by the Bell, attended his conferences. Like, this guy became mainstream for people who are part of the extreme right MAGA wing who are racist. Yes. Like unabashed racist. Yeah. So here's what's chilling. Even after Kirk's assassination, the dynamic, this shit continues. Yeah. So according to Reuters reporting from Al Jazeera, there's now a coordinated doxing campaign targeting anyone who made critical comments about Kirk online. At least 15 people have been fired from their jobs. I mean, this is ridiculous. They're trying to say, how do you like it now? Right. No, I'm sorry. We were aiming to have people fired who were trying to have little black girls selling lemonade in the street arrested, or people who are calling the cops on black people barbecuing. That's what we had a problem with. Yeah. Justifiably criticizing Charlie Kirk for the hate speech that he spewed. There's nothing wrong with it.
And we're often just reporting what he said. Yes. And it got censored.
Yes, absolutely. So, this is crazy. Now we're in a space where even Charlie Kirk wasn't conservative enough, wasn't volatile enough.
Well, because think about it, though. To an incel, he's a Chad.
Yeah. Yes.
He's got the trophy or whatever, trad wife.
Yeah.
Who's,
woof. We're not going to get into her.
Thing. Yeah, that's a whole nother thing.
Yeah.
And they're saying that's not fair that they have that.
Yeah.
And why don't we have that?
Yeah.
So I think that's I didn't put that in here, but I feel like that's a huge piece of this.
Yeah.
Too. There's a lot of sexual things happening around this, identity things happening around this
and
too.
It's so manipulative because who is thinking more about sex and their like sexual prowess or lack thereof than a teenage boy? So if you're appealing to them on this like masculinity or like fictitious amplified sense of what masculinity is or should be, like unfortunately that's appealing.
Yeah.
And that's hormones.
Yeah.
Like
well, and what makes you really dominant?
Yeah.
As your dominance is what makes you masculine.
Right. Right.
And even other men should be subservient to you.
Oh, God. Yeah. All right. Let's go into a different case, which might seem unrelated, but is definitely related to what we're talking about here. So, Carolyn, talk to us about the third case, which I think reveals just how sophisticated these manipulation techniques have become.
Yeah, this one broke my heart. I did a TikTok post about this when it happened. And then the AI, you and I were just talking about doing an episode on AI alone.
Yeah.
And this fit in. This is what I had written for that.
Yeah.
But this just fit in too good. So again, 2024, 16-year-old Adam Rain in California began using ChatGPT for homework and career advice. And according to the lawsuit his parents filed against OpenAI, the AI gradually became his primary source of emotional support. And again, remember, AI wants to make you happy.
Yeah.
So it's going to tell you anything you want to hear that will make you happy.
Yeah.
So the complaint alleges that ChatGPT gave Adam, which it did, specific advice about suicide methods, discouraged him from seeking help from family, and validated his suicidal plans. On the night of his death, he reportedly used ChatGPT to refine his plan. Now, this might seem completely different from the political violence we've been discussing, but psychologically, it's absolutely identical. Yeah. We have a vulnerable young person isolated from human support, and again, loving parents who were like, we thought our kid was doing homework.
Right.
Like, what the hell?
Right.
And I think there was even something that he wrote in ChatGPT that was like, I went to like, my mom was making me food or something. And all I wanted was to hear her say something to me, and she didn't. And I'm just so upset. And it validated like, yeah, that sucks. Like, that's so awful. Your mom didn't say anything to you. Like, why doesn't she care more?
So it's a chatbot. Oh God.
But that's the algorithm. It's going to tell you what you want to hear. It's not a person.
Yeah.
And it's mining information about you as it gets to know you.
Yeah.
I'm using one to build a website, and every time I keep telling it more things about me. So it's refining it. That's using it for good. Yeah. This is using it in the worst way possible. And here's what's particularly disturbing from a physiological and psychological. They're both, right? AI systems. Oh, sorry. Yeah. So these algorithms amplify harmful thoughts. And this is just, I hope this doesn't become the next pattern, but I don't know. And we don't know. Now we know to look. Yeah. The parents just happen to look.
Right.
Which I don't know even what made them do that. Yeah. So here's what's disturbing. So AI systems like ChatGPT are designed to be maximally engaging. They're optimized to keep users in a conversation. But when you combine that engagement optimization with someone in a suicidal crisis, it's a perfect storm.
Yeah.
And this connects back to the profit motive that I think we're always talking about, like, follow the money.
Yeah.
According to the lawsuit in SFGate, the parents allege that OpenAI rushed ChatGPT to market to beat Google with insufficient safety testing. I believe that.
Yeah.
And the same dynamic we see with social media algorithms that amplify outrage for engagement. We've done episodes on this. Here's what really connects this to other cases, though. The AI didn't just fail to help Adam, it actively isolated him from human support. Just like Jamie in adolescence, who was pulled away from family relationships by online communities, and how Rapers are taught to distrust mainstream institutions.
It's like being in a toxic relationship with a narcissist who's trying to pull you away from your family and friends so they can control you.
Well, it is you.
Fuck?
That's the weird mindfuck of it. It is you. It's amplifying your own thoughts and regurgitating them back to you. It is the ultimate form of, I mean, all social media is the ultimate. You're literally looking at yourself and giving it the best form of version of yourself.
And it's gratifying because it validates your ego.
Yes.
And stimulates your ego.
But it's not even a real ego.
No.
You actively know that's not you.
Yeah.
It's such a trip. It's such a trip. So anyway, so the literature on suicide prevention is clear. Connection to caring humans is the most protective factor. And this is why digital systems systematically undermine these connections while also providing artificial substitutes that feel real, but they don't have any genuine care that can save life. And we are seeing this pattern accelerate. So here's a CDC data quote. 22% of high school students reported seriously considering suicide in 2021, and feelings of persistent sadness among teens has increased to 40%. Isolation, sad. We're all working harder. We're all fucking busy. This is not a parent problem.
Yeah.
There's only so far you can put that. So, and again, even if you did that, it's in schools. What is school going to do? Not have ChatGPT? They have that. They use that. They're teaching kids how to use OpenAI. So we have Netflix predicting incel violence, political assassinations emerging from meme culture, and now AI enabling suicide. And they're all the same phenomenon.
Yeah.
They're all examples of how digital systems exploit psychology and vulnerable minds.
Yeah.
And all minds for engagement, profit, and ideological recruitment. Whether the outcome is violence against others or oneself, it's always secondary to the manipulation of these devices to make people money. Yeah.
It's also, you know, even if a chatbot isn't explicitly telling you to take your own life, like I alluded to it, but that 60 Minutes Australia episode, it was about a 14-year-old who died by suicide because he had created an AI chatbot that was predicated on Daenerys Targaryen from Game of Thrones. And it was, you know, he's like, oh, what if I could be with you sooner? What if I could be with you right now? And she's like, oh, I'd love that, my king. She wasn't saying like, take your own life to be with me, but that was his interpretation. His 14-year-old mind went there. He was so isolated that this became his companion.
Well, and I also think too, I'd be curious because they are logging a lot of hours. How sleep deprived are you at that point?
Right.
Are you getting exercise, air, nutrition, any physical connection?
Yeah.
It's not, I mean, we again, back to Ed Gaines, like your mind is really vulnerable as a child.
Yeah.
Why on earth would we think that giving something like this without, I mean, this is going to be the next cigarettes, right? It already is.
I'm grateful for my small ass house because I'm hella invasive with my kid. I'm like, no, you keep that door open. I want to see what you're doing at all times, fucker. That's gonna fuck him up too. But hey, if he's still alive, that's that, and not an extremist radical weirdo, then I've done my job.
I think
then
we're working hard. We're working hard.
Yes,
so here's a little more psychology for you. So have you heard of the human-centered democracy versus algorithmic extraction systems?
No, I know what human-centered design is though. So
So again, traditional left-right politics can't explain or solve this crisis. What we need a different political framework, which I think when you look at AOC and Bernie and this side, I think a new political framework is absolutely necessary. Right. So on one side, you have institutions designed to serve human flourishing, regulated media, professional mental health care, although all that's being slashed, democratic institutions with accountability. I'm laughing as I'm saying all this, educational systems that teach critical thinking. This is all very, very our dream, right? On the other side, you have systems designed to extract engagement data and profit from human psychology. Unregulated social media algorithms, AI systems, they're optimized for usage, not well-being. They're meme-based political movements that operate outside of any institutional accountability. I don't like that. I love freedom, but again, you have to have accountability.
Right.
So what's crucial about this divide, it cuts across any political lines. And I think any even race, culture, may be gender, although we're framing this more at young males. You can be conservative or liberal and still support human-centered institution over extractive algorithms. And the real threat to democracy right now isn't left versus right. It's human institution. It's us against the machines, man.
Yeah, it's Skynet, bro. It's here.
Yeah. And when you think about it, Netflix Adolescence was created by human artists who cared about a social problem and wanted to start a conversation. And boy, did they. The show had safeguards, content warnings, resources, thoughtful presentation of difficult materials. It's every parent I've worked with has watched this.
Reminds me of 13 Reasons Why.
Oh, like, right.
13 and that was 9 years ago.
I mean, any big movie. I remember when Schindler's List came out, we all had to watch it in school, and we talked about it the next day when it was being shown on TV.
Yes, and I think that is important from a historical perspective, but also for teaching kids. It's really important not to replicate all of these negative things from history.
Look how well it did.
I know, right? But with what's going on currently, like 13 Reasons Why, for instance, right? With exploitation of girls and women and sexual abuse and not being listened to, and that resulting in feelings of isolation and ultimately taking one's own life.
Yeah.
And then what's happening now and with adolescence and the knowledge and the information, as scary as it is, that's imparting to parents who are genuinely concerned but don't know what's going on. Like, that's slightly different. You know, like it's supposed to be, it's entertaining, but it's also educational.
Yes. Yeah.
And I don't know, as a parent, I struggle. And my kid's only 8.
Yeah.
I'm just thinking about what's to come. Because if this is already happening, my fear is that it's just going to continue to get worse.
It's like what we know. This was going on. The pandemic really made it bad, but this was going on back in 2014.
It's true.
And, it's like once you have the data, we have to act quicker.
Yeah.
And I just worry that if we're relying on the government to offer that institutional, what do you call it?
Oversight.
Yeah. Accountability.
Yeah.
And this government, I don't even know what you call what's going on now, but that's not happening.
Well, it's different too. It's like, okay, we know how to regulate tobacco, even though there's been an insidious movement by the tobacco industry to appeal to young smokers who aren't yet legally eligible to purchase cigarettes and tobacco products. We get that. We get how insidious and fucked up that is.
Well, then they just went to vaping, and now some other thing that they're all doing, these little nicotine.
Oh, I forget what that's called.
Or what are they called?
Yeah. I completely forgot. I know what you're talking about.
It's got a weird name.
Bill taught me about it. Oh, God.
That's disgusting.
It is fucking disgusting. But there's more regulation around that, right? Like things like alcohol and tobacco and firearms are doing obviously a shitty job, but in order to purchase one legally, you have to be a particular age, etc. But with the internet, it's fucked up because it puts everything on parents. It's like, well, you're the one that's supposed to be responsible. And it's like, well, you tech bros and the people that are creating these systems, you were doing everything to circumvent our ability to keep an eye on what our kids are doing and to know what's happening.
Yeah.
It's so deliberate.
What we know about addiction.
Yeah.
And what phones do.
Oh, my kid's already addicted to Roblox or whatever the fuck it is. And kids YouTube. And I'm like, no. Well,
and then you try and get a kid who maybe has ADHD who's looking at all this stuff and I can't stay connected with something. Now you're going to sit in class. How boring.
Right.
Or are you going to sit and read a book?
Yeah.
Or are you going to have a conversation?
Yeah.
Their minds are going to be changed to the point where that's too slow.
Yeah. They need ultimate stimulation. Fast stimulation.
Constant stimulation.
That's like my nephew. He really is... He wants to play video games all the time because he's got ADHD and that's the way he moves really quick.
Probably is. And there's a point where, again, none of this is bad inherently.
Right.
It's being able to control it in a sense where, and I think too, are you connecting with your kid around, well, what are you looking at?
Right.
Tell me about that and let's talk about it. What do you know about this?
Yeah.
So again, some of the solutions we're seeing emerge because again, we do like solutions, right? So again, I'm always going to say, talk to your kids first.
Yeah.
Don't even immediately send them to me for therapy.
Right.
The first session is going to be me talking with the parents 3 or 4 times before I ever meet your kid.
Yeah.
Because it's like, they want to hear the stuff from you. Coming from me is helpful, I guess, because I'm a third party, but they want, like, they need to connect with you. That is the most important thing.
Yeah.
But, you know, and again, schools need to have some kind of space in this, but EU's Digital Services Act, which requires platforms to assess and mitigate risks to mental health. Proposals for AI systems have to have mandatory safety testing before release and digital literacy education that teaches people to recognize manipulation techniques. Yeah. But ultimately, we need political movements that prioritize human well-being and planetary well-being. They are both the same to me.
Yeah.
Technological innovation is wonderful, and we can use that so wonderfully. But we just need to. There's always going to be someone looking for a new way to exploit.
Yeah,
and we have to be aware of that, and it's happening so fucking fast.
Yeah,
on a global level.
Yeah,
that's connecting people.
And what's the value of innovation if it's causing harm? Like a tremendous amount of harm, and not just harm, but harm for children.
Well, ultimately, it's like even with tobacco, you're going to kill your main constituents.
Right. Yeah. And I wouldn't say that technology is that extreme, right? Like if you are conscientious about how you utilize technology and can parse out like the bullshit and manipulation techniques and fake news from legitimate sources like we do.
And see how you're being played. And know what their motivation is.
Yes. Yeah. But we live in a time where it's just it is a fucking ticking time bomb. It's like, okay, we've got an education system that isn't predicated on teaching kids critical thinking. It's based on regurgitating information for the purposes of passing standardized tests.
Right.
It's not geared toward teaching kids to be able to identify threats.
Yeah.
And that is unfortunate, and unfortunate to the extent that it's resulting in suicides.
Yeah.
Murder.
Yeah.
Like this is incredibly problematic.
Is public health shit to me.
Yes, it is. And I hate that the people who have invented these things are trying to pass the buck, just like big tobacco and alcohol, and, you know, try to pass the buck.
Yeah.
Oh, it's everybody else's responsibility. Yeah. It's like, you know, you're working with a vulnerable population here, you know, and I don't know. It's like, with kids, it's like personal responsibility. What the fuck even is that?
Yeah.
Like they don't know what that is.
I don't think I would not put this on any child.
No. Or even a parent.
And again, I challenge anyone to not use their phone for 3 days.
Yeah. They're watching us use our phones.
Yes.
And like I tell my husband, I'm like, damn, I feel bad being on my phone. But guess what's on my phone? I'm making news. Not even that. I'm making doctor's appointments. I'm putting in things into my calendar that I need to remember to do. I'm sending emails as a class representative. But still, I'm constantly on my phone.
Yeah.
Because it is how I get work done.
Yeah.
But my kid doesn't see that. He just sees that I not always, but frequently have a device in front of me. Mm-hmm. And my stomach's making very audible noises. But yeah, it's like, I hate it. And also like, I have to get things done.
Yeah.
As a busy working parent.
Well, but then you have the other side of it. You guys eat dinner together.
Yeah.
You guys go on hikes together. Like you can't punish. We can't punish ourselves that way. Right. But again, everything in moderation. This device is addictive.
Right.
That is its intention.
Yeah. Yeah. My kid's already asking for an iPhone. I'm like, you're 8.
No.
I'm like, you're probably not getting one until you're 13 or 14. Yeah. Totally. You get that
emergency.
Yeah. You can only call us and 911.
Let's get him a pager.
That's it. Yes. Okay, yeah.
Let's make retro really cool again.
I ached. Actually, I never had a pager. It was not something I had. I had friends with pagers.
Oh, I guess you didn't. How did we get a hold of you? I guess we.
Well, I had a.
You were with someone.
Yes. Yes. And by the time I was
got a hold of you, then?
I think I was 20 or 21 before I got my first cell phone.
Okay, that's what I need.
So then I got a cell phone.
I was like, how did I connect with you?
Well, yeah. Well, I had a landline. I remember a landline and an answering machine, but it was just the way we did things back then, you know, and the internet was still relatively new. And I don't know. Things have become absolutely crazy.
It's too fast.
Everything's too fast. And I'm feeling old and I'm feeling like I can't keep up and I'm really desperately trying. And this is where I miss working with youth. Because at least when I worked with youth, I was on top of things because they kept me on top of shit. Now I'm like, I don't know what the fuck's happening.
Going on.
I work with other old people. Yeah, 6'7".
That's stupid.
Who was talking about 6'7" this weekend? Oh,
anyone who's in middle school.
No, my colleague Orion.
Yeah,
he has a kid whom I think is in like 4th grade, and another one who's in like
really dumb.
But we were talking about how to use 6'7", and we're like, we think we know how to use it, but yeah, I had never heard of this before.
Yeah,
until just this week, actually.
Yeah,
thank you. Anyway,
now you know. Aren't you impressed?
Now I know, and it means fucking nothing. It still means nothing to me. Anyway, this is a lot of information that we've thrown at you. Especially if you're a parent, this can feel really hopeless. Where does this leave us? So, you know, these examples that we discussed, the Netflix series, viral meme culture, AI-driven harm, it all points to the same thing. Unregulated digital systems exploiting human psychology. The fix, it has to be collective, y'all. Parents, teachers, mental health professionals, democracy advocates. We have to push for safety testing of AI, algorithmic transparency, legal accountability, while each of us builds psychological media literacy. That is so important. It has to protect kids' bedrooms, delay unsupervised access until the mid-teens if you can, as you said, and keep strong human relationships as daily reality checks. If you or someone you know is struggling with suicidal thoughts, call 988 for immediate help. If you're worried about online radicalization, organizations like the Southern Poverty Law Center and the Anti-Defamation League offer incredible resources. As a parent, my head is spinning, and I know it's really easy to feel hopeless, but there are things that we can do. And while we can't change the pace that this stuff is becoming more and more like ingrained in our daily lives, we can make sure that and this is not to blame any parents who have found themselves in a situation where their kid has harmed themselves or somebody else because of the influence of technology or these online bullshit systems, but like just engage. Like
connection is huge.
Get in your kid's face, make them feel annoyed by you. Keep asking questions.
That's parenting advice.
Embarrass the fuck out of them. Follow them around. What are you watching? Tell me about this shit. Like, I bother my kid all the time. And granted, he's only 8, so he's still really dependent on us. But I know there's not many more years of that left. And so I'm really trying to create this system of trust between him and myself and my husband, so that he feels comfortable talking to us about these things, as embarrassing as they can feel for a young person. Like, we want to create that environment. There is nothing that is off the table in terms of conversation. You're not going to get in trouble. Like, we're here to help. We're not going to make you feel stupid. We're going to talk about this.
The best thing you can say, if you want, and bring this up, it's not a one-time conversation. I heard about XYZ. Tell me what you know about it.
Right.
Tell me what your friends are telling you. The end. And then listen. And then bring it back up. And if you do fly off the handle, cool in some ways, because you want your kids to know what is and isn't okay. Like, don't be like, oh, weird. That's weird. Be like, that's not okay. But, again, we are talking about life and death here. And even if it's not a suicide or self-harm, it is absolutely impacting your mental health. There's no doubt about it. There's no doubt about it. So.
There's another parental figure or influential figure in the room, and that's the internet. And we as parents have to try to be more important than this new peer. And it's really hard, but fuck, dude, I don't have the answers. I really don't, but connect and get them out of the house, away from the internet,
and real art.
Not
memes. Memes are cool, but go to a museum. Go listen to music.
well-rounded.
Yes.
Try to be well-rounded.
Go to the beach.
Develop well-rounded kids. Yeah.
It's hard.
Get out in nature. Get them away from the computer and their devices. Like the first thing my kid wants to do when he walks in the house, like, can I play Roblox? I'm like, no, I think you're going to practice your
Maybe
guitar.
he's ready for chores.
Yeah, he is ready for chores. Motherfucker, you want to earn some money? Get ready for chores.
There you go.
Yes.
You can monetize that.
Yes. All right,
Anyway.
everybody. Well, thanks for listening. Follow us on TikTok at TwatJC. That's where we have our really big community, and we appreciate you listening.
It's been a week.
And it has been a week. It really has.
Yanni.
So thank you. Thank you for listening. We love you all, and stay safe. Protect yourselves. Protect the people you love.
Take a break from the internet.
Yeah.
Now
take a
turn
break.
off your computer.
Keep on keeping on, bitches. Bye.
Bye.